welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Hope Taylor and I am a senior portrait and wedding photographer based in Charleston, South Carolina. And this YouTube channel is where I share weekly education for photographers and small business owners to learn a little bit more about growing a successful business. And in today's video, I'm really excited to share with you 3 ways to build buzz in your senior photography business. Some of you may be like, Hope, what in the world do you mean by buzz? And I'm going to explain. But I began my business when I was a 17-year-old junior in high school. So I have a little bit of a unique perspective on business and marketing because I literally was my target market when my business was starting, because the only thing that I was photographing was high school senior portraits for my peers. And one of the biggest ways that I grew my business quickly was by intentionally creating word of mouth marketing and buzz around my business. And when I think about buzz, I literally envision like little bees flying around in my community and all my friends that I photographed going around my high school and sharing about their experience with me and literally creating buzz like little worker bees about my business to help me market and help me grow. And there are very intentional and strategic ways I used to do that back in 2013, 2014, but Instagram was a lot different back then. Instagram was not oversaturated. There weren't these algorithms working against us. I could do things like giveaways for a free session or give away a t-shirt, and I would get a ton of traction and a ton of followers just from doing that. But social media is a little bit different now. Marketing is a little bit different now, 7, almost 8 years later. And so I want to share with you 3 strategies that I use in my business still to this day in 2020 to build buzz around my business when it comes to booking senior portraits. And when we're talking about marketing and building our business and word of mouth marketing, the senior portrait market is a little bit unique in 2 ways. It's unique in the fact that high school seniors are always going to want the thing that is most popular and most in demand and the thing that their friends are doing. I call it creating FOMO, or the fear of missing out. It's a very strategic thing I do in my marketing in relation to senior portraits, because if I can make them feel like they're missing out on this awesome experience that their friends are having or their peers are having, they're way more likely to book me than just by stumbling upon my website and thinking my pictures are beautiful. So I want to make sure that I'm creating this fear of missing out by making my business appear in demand and by giving my clients reasons to talk about me and share about their experience. And the second way that senior portraits are unique is that we are not just marketing to seniors themselves. The senior may be who finds us and who asks their parents if they can work with us, but the parents are who are booking us. The parents are typically who we're communicating with. And so we have to be strategic in making sure that the way that we're marketing our business reaches 2 totally different markets: the high school senior or the college senior themselves, and then also their parents, who is likely the one that's investing. So the 3 things that I'm going to share with you today are strategies that I use in my business every single senior session to create positive word of mouth and buzz surrounding my business. So I'm going to break down 3 different tips for you. Tip number 1, and honestly I think the most powerful tip I'm going to share today, is to share behind the scenes of your senior client experience on your Instagram stories or on Reels or on IGTV. Make sure that you are utilizing your social media to share behind the scenes of what your senior experience looks like. I have found that if I share a behind the scenes look into one of my senior sessions before I post a final image from that shoot, the image that I post gets way more likes, way more engagement, and just overall way more positive feedback, because my followers and my audience have gotten a chance to see how that image was created. So not only am I getting more engagement on the final image, I'm making my audience feel like they're a part of the process. I'm getting them excited for the final product to be shared. I'm also showing potential future senior clients how much fun the behind the scenes of the shoot is. There's no reason to be nervous. We have an amazing time. I pose my clients and tell them what they need to do in front of the camera. I help them pick their outfits. We go and explore all of these beautiful locations in Charleston. It lets them see a peek into what the experience actually looks like, because I found that sometimes seniors see a beautiful image of maybe even one of their friends and they can't visualize themselves in that photo. They can't visualize themselves in full makeup, all dressed up, looking that beautiful. But if they see a behind the scenes from an iPhone video of us like rolling around in the dirt in a field getting beautiful shots, they can visualize themselves there. That feels a little bit more realistic, a little bit more attainable, and it helps to create buzz. They just feel super excited about getting to see a behind the scenes look. Here's an example of that. I posted some behind the scenes of this amazing senior session that I did downtown Charleston, and I posted just videos of the locations we were shooting, videos of how beautiful the light was at golden hour, some behind the scenes look at like the outfits that she chose and that type of thing. And these were just Instagram stories I posted around 5 p.m. when the shoot concluded. And then later that night, probably around 7 or 8, I posted a sneak peek, which I'm going to talk about in a second. And that sneak peek got double the likes and engagement than a photo that I posted later in the week, because my followers felt like they were a part of the process. process. They got to see what the location looked like in real life, what the light looked like in real life, and then how different that final image looked once I edited it. So tip number one, make sure you're highlighting the behind the scenes of your client experience on Instagram, Insta Stories, IGTV, Reels, whatever platform that you prefer. Tip number two, which I got a little bit ahead of myself and already mentioned, is to consider implementing same-day sneak peeks into your post-processing workflow. I cannot talk enough about the value of this and how much this has changed the game for my business, not just on senior portrait side of things, but with engagement sessions and weddings and any clients I photograph. They are the most excited about their experience with you the second that they leave. And I've experienced that as a client, right? Like when we get new headshots done or we get new images done, we are most excited about it right when we leave. We're like on this high of being in front of the camera and having such a good time, and that slowly fades over time. That kind of decays over time. And so the longer that I wait to give my client a final image, I found the less likely they are to share about it, the more they are to nitpick it because they're kind of farther removed from that excitement that they felt the night of the shoot. So if I can get 1, 2, 3, or maybe 6 or 7 sneak peeks up the night of a session, they are more likely to repost that image, which is going to create buzz around my business and give her a reason to talk about me, he or she. And it's going to give them an opportunity to comment and share about how much fun they had and build positive buzz in the comment section of that photo, which ultimately builds engagement, which ultimately gets more people to see it, which ultimately could book me more clients. So what I do is when I get home from a senior session, I call that entire session the night of. So I typically take anywhere from 800 to 1,000 photos at a senior session. I like to overshoot. And so I will call that down to about 100 to 150 images. My clients are only expecting 60, so I over deliver just a smidge, but I deliver 100 to 150. So I call down to the number of images that are going to be delivered to the client, and then I put them in Lightroom, I go through them, and I pick 6 or 7, maybe even up to 10 images that I'm going to share as sneak peeks. I highlight 1 or 2 on my Instagram feed and post the rest in Instagram stories. And I'm just really trying to maximize on that high that they're feeling of the excitement right when they leave the shoot. And I want to give the opportunity to feed into that and make them even more excited about their experience. And tip number 3 may seem like a simple one, but I found that it makes a really big difference, is to tag your clients and the vendors that you've worked with for that shoot when you share those sneak peeks. I used to just not even think about that. When I would post a sneak peek on my social media feed, I would be so excited to share it that I would just skip over tagging my client or the makeup artist or the boutique we worked with or the props that we worked with. I would just forget that part. It's genuinely just something that was an oversight. But I have learned and I found that if you tag your client and all of the vendors you've worked with, they're not just more likely to see the image, they're way more likely to engage with it and reshare it because their name and their Instagram handle is attached to that photo. So if I can build that buzz and build that excitement by tagging them and bringing attention to the photo, they're way more likely to engage with it and way more likely to reshare it. One of the things that I teach in relation to creating buzz around your business is if we're visualizing them as actual worker bees that are going to go out and build your business for you by talking about you in your community, you want to be intentional about giving them the tools that they need to share about you. If you want them to go out and do the work and be those worker bees, make sure you're giving them the tools, the hammer and the nails that they need to go out and build your business for you. And by that, I mean give them images to share, give them reasons to talk about you, give them a gift at their shoot for them to post about on their stories, give them the tools they need, the reasons to share about you online, and I promise that it will be a game changer in creating buzz around your business. If you want to learn more about senior photography or you want to implement something new into your senior sessions, I'm going to drop a link below for my free senior style guide. This is a guide that I send all of my seniors leading up to their shoots to help them prepare with what to wear, what to expect, how to prep for their shoot, what to do with their nails, how to pick outfits, all of those things. It's the exact document that I send my clients, and I'm giving it to you guys for free so you can see a little bit of a peek into my senior experience. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope that free guide in the description is helpful, and I will see you guys again with more info next week. Bye.